Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to The Power of One. Today we are watching the She-Hulk season finale. Whose show is this? Folks, I want to thank you for stopping by The Power of One again to wrap up this show that, as far as my personal opinion is, has been a good show. Is it perfect? No. It has its issues. They made some choices I didn't agree with, but looking at it more as a whole thus far, I understand why they made the choices, but going week to week, it was just a little frustrating. Case in point, the way they rendered her suits, I think it was done intentionally that the CGI looked bad. Because then, once Luke graced her with her custom made miracle outfits, they looked phenomenal. Like all the CG outfits they put on her after that looked stupendous. So I think they did that on purpose to make Luke's skill pop. It still didn't help going week to week, given that we didn't even get to see one of those outfits till like episode 4 or 5. So that's a choice. But, ladies and gentlemen, I do want to talk to you for a second. I haven't seen this episode. We're going to sit here and watch it together. I don't know how they're going to wrap it up. I don't know what they're going to double down on. But I will say this. This show did not deserve the instant hatred that it got from part of the fandom. I could call them all sorts of names. I could come up with classifications and distinctions to try and lump them all together. But when you are hate bombing a show because you think that they feminized or castrated the Hulk by making this show, you are an insecure asshole. I apologize that I'm calling it how I see it. This is, again, my opinion. But folks went too far. The fact that in the show, they go on a website and find memes and death threats about She-Hulk that were pulled from Twitter. People actually made some of these and publicly posted them on Twitter, including the one that had a target on her head, because they felt she was a threat, because she didn't deserve to live. Folks, this is an extreme reaction that indicates not only poor upbringing, but possible mental health issues. No one, and I mean no one, should be that upset about a TV show. Seriously. The show, on its own, for a half-hour comedy that breaks the fourth wall, thus far has been decent. Is it the best thing Marvel has offered us? No. Not at all. It's the worst thing Marvel has offered us? No. Not at all. For what they went out to make, which was a comedy, it is good. In my opinion. But it did not deserve all the hatred. Even if they completely bomb this finale, I will never think it deserved that hatred. Ever. That kind of behavior is unacceptable, dangerous, and what gives fandom a bad reputation. And it's not just the Marvel fandom. Not just the Star Wars fandom. DC has their own branch. The percentages might be a little higher over there. But to be fair, they've been dicked over by the studio for how long? They've earned some of that bitterness. We're not that's for a different video. But please, if you know someone who is one of those folks that has been shit talking this show just because she's female or because of the quote unquote wokeness, please get them out of your life for your own safety. And where did this rant come from? I unfortunately know some people in my vaguely immediate circle that are those people. I know of them. They are not close friends. They never will be, because that mentality, unfortunately, extends beyond a comic book show. And that is where the danger lies. So please, you know what? If you have friends that don't like the show because of the quality or because of the CGI choices that were made, you know what? Cool. Hug them for being normal. It's the scary ones that you need to be careful of. I'm not saying you have to like this show. In my opinion, it's good. You can have an opinion that says the show is not good, so long as it is based on the show or some aspect therein, and not simply some imagined wokeness or the fact that it's just a female Hulk. That you somehow think it is emasculating the Hulk, Banner's Hulk. That is the key. That is the thing to watch out for. And I apologize for this tirade. I have been very much looking forward to this finale, but I figured now was the best time to get this out before I've even had a chance to see the end of the show, how they bring it together. These people scare me, and you need to be on the lookout. Please, for your own safety. Self-care is best care. You don't need them in your life. All right, now, let's get away from that heavy shit by watching a half-hour comedy, shall we? Where we last left our heroine, she was in some shit. She kind of raged out a little bit, broke through some walls, smashed the TV, after one of the most heinous crimes has been committed against her, revenge porn. They went out simply to discredit her because of who she is. And I'd be pissed too. If I had that kind of strength, I'd have smashed the wall too. I freely admit that about myself. But Damage Control showed up. That's who those soldiers with the weapons were, because we first saw those in Miss Marvel. And now we get to see the repercussions of everything that had happened. And I have a feeling, given the look that the law firm director gave her on his way out of the ballroom, she may be unemployed by the end of this episode. Which could kind of be in line with the comics, because I remember her working independently for a while. But I don't know if they're planning on going that way. Hey, maybe she'll go to New York, start working with Matt Murdock. They got a thing. Make it a thing. Wouldn't that be neat if She-Hulk guest starred in the new Daredevil show? Calling it right now. Let's see if it happens. Marvel, do the thing. All right, folks. Without further ramble, let's get into the show. As a note, I've noticed that each individual iteration of this now, they are shifting the characters. Whoa.
Lawyer, millennial, searching for a way to balance a career and her personal life. Then an accidental dose of gamma-radiated blood.
Oh my god, this is amazing. This is a variation on the old Incredible Hulk TV show.
A startling metamorphosis occurred.
Bill Bixby. Oh my god, this is awesome. Yeah, this is almost like scene for scene.
And pursued by online trolls. Raging spirit that dwells within her.
Okay, that was really well done. Really well done. Shot for shot recreation of the introduction of the old show. and I love it.
I'm all right. Did you manage to get hold of Bruce?
We left multiple messages. I managed to sound very calm considering I was calling the freaking Hulk himself.
I mean, something to be said for that.
Which is how anyone would respond in that situation.
But you're not just anyone. You are an out-of-control Hulk. That's what all the witnesses saw.
An unfortunate reality.
For a plea deal. The DA won't pursue any charges related to the incident.
What are the terms?
Oh, the inhibitor. Which means she will lose her job at the law firm because he always wanted her as She-Hulk.
Oh, sweetheart. It's all right. People go to prison every day.
Oh, her dad is amazingly adorable. People go to prison every day.
They paid me nicely. Don't worry about you guys. Thanks for the help.
We always have your back, Jen.
The female cousin of the Hulk,
Hell yeah.
uncomfortable knowing an unstable super being
Unstable?
lives just next door. But
Are they outside my house?
Yep. It's beginning.
But my gym stuff is in your room now, and I work out every day at 7 a.m. You should join me. Workout buddies. Oh, this will be fun.
and her dad was just looking at her with that. Oh my god, that look was adorable. Her dad is the MVP of this entire show. Absolutely amazing. And I love the actor. Everything I've seen him in before has been great. Yes!
Care if there is a drought. I got water pressure for days.
Make him a full-fledged member of the Avengers. Because he is the hero we need.
Gonna slip up, and they're gonna give us enough information so that we can track them down, and then we will find them and we will destroy them. By any and all means.
Legally.
I said by any and all means.
No. We have work to do. Don't worry.
When is this work going to be out of my living room?
As soon as I get justice for everything that's happened, and I can't do that if you're hovering.
Okay, sheesh.
Take a Valium, Mom. She has a right to be angry.
For emotional distress.
Appropriate.
That's correct. We work together at the district attorney's office, and
Oh. My god.
before she got those superpowers, I blame her grandmother.
Huh?
Wow. That dude. I was hoping we'd seen the last of him after the elf thing.
This isn't even a reluctant superhero story. I'm just getting screwed over. Is this what you guys want?
What do you think, Jen?
At a new low. She has no more
No, we're
fight.
not doing a narrator. We're not that off the rails.
We're not that off the rails.
What you up to?
Smug Hulk.
Well, you said come anytime. This is a time.
I mean, not wrong.
I'm not running from my problems. It's a mental health break.
I mean, there is a distinction. And, I mean, if you're going to go to a place where you got Target's version of the Avengers ready to murder someone for you.
Oh, hey there, Hulk King.
There you go.
Well, that was easy. Or am I a genius?
Now, the real question is, how is she going to go about this? Because she was at the gala walking that red carpet.
Pug, are you still here? I need a favor.
Oh no, not poor Pug. If Pug gets hurt, I'm... Oh,
Our hearts beat the same. If
Wow.
You say I'm the monster. What does that make you? This book sucks.
I mean, he's trying. Why would you park on the lawn?
You're not going to be the only one, okay?
Please don't make me do this.
You have to, all right? I need you to blend in with these trolls, okay? And remember to always refer to women as females.
Yeah.
Gonna get your head in the game, buddy.
I love Pug. Like, he just finds the entire situation distasteful for what he may have to say and or do, and I love him for that.
Lady Thor? Guys, she just sucks, okay? And I'm not just saying that because she's a
Wow.
female. I would have the exact same criticisms if she was a man.
It's the they literally just put in things that were said on Twitter as dialogue. This show literally wrote itself.
Females, am I right?
Oh no. Oh no.
Me too. So happy.
This guy rules, all right? You heard it from me first. He rules, and he's hot.
It's just so uncomfortable.
Exactly, right?
Yeah, totally.
See, she got everything through nepotism.
She got everything through nepotism.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
she's the most ruthless coach, though.
Yes.
Like you're mad about it.
Yeah, and it pisses me off.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, Pug.
We are vibing, my man.
Gross. Keep him talking about something.
You know what? I could watch an entire show of just Nikki and Pug. Oh, God, he's Hulk King. Anyway, I could watch an entire show of Nikki and Pug just infiltrating stuff like this. Buddy cop comedy of lawyers and interns. Let's make the thing happen.
We're real action, and we're just getting started. Let's go.
Wow.
Share tomorrow.
Actually, I think I'd rather just talk to Emil about this. Do you know where he is?
Yeah, he's down the lodge. Some private event down there.
Thanks.
Oh, no.
Better cheer. Give it up for the Abomination!
And he comes in full Abomination.
Progress, every single person seizing their goal. Am I right? Todd here has told...
Wow.
Don't ask permission. Be powerful. Be powerful. You are the only boss.
She literally just walked into her own personal hell.
What are you doing here? Actually, I don't care. Emil, you've been transforming into the Abomination.
Yeah, I do speaking engagements. Nothing bad, strictly for profit.
Nothing bad.
What are you doing here? We need to get out of here.
These guys are intelligentsia. Todd created the site. He's Hulk King.
You're Hulk.
Oh no.
Steal your blood. Oh.
Wait, what are you talking about? Steal my blood?
My team also synthesized your blood, so it could safely give me all the powers you never should have been given.
Oh no. What?
I had to earn them.
Ugh. This is not gonna work, right?
This is gonna end poorly.
Why is it? Oh, gross.
Yeah, because they already said that one of the reasons it worked was because she was genetic family to Bruce.
Come on, Titania too? This isn't messy enough?
God, does that bitch ever use a door?
Jet, look out!
Okay, so Emil is literally just using his Abomination status, like he said. Oh my God!
This is a mess. None of these storylines make any sense. Is this working for you?
Wow!
What do you think you're doing? This menu is not gonna stop me.
Oh my God, this is awesome!
No. Marvel Assembled. That'll do.
They just full stopped the show. And like they didn't break the fourth wall. They just obliterated it. This was creative as shit.
if the entirety of the second season is one extended dream sequence?
I love it.
We get fired. That's what we get.
Every other superhero story ever.
Okay, there are certain things that are supposed to happen in a superhero story.
Exactly. Why don't we just do things
I am speechless with this.
Talking about him. It's not healthy. I'm going to go talk to Kevin now.
Yeah, this is unique as hell. I love how they're doing this. It is amazing.
Agreement and then have a seat. I've got
I like that they're making fun of themselves with that. That's good. Okay, this isn't going to be Feige, like everyone is going to immediately assume. Is this some kind of like deep blue computer? Oh my god!
Jennifer,
Kevin?
it stands for Knowledge Enhanced Visual Interconnectivity Nexus. Were you expecting a man?
And they straight up stole this from Wall-E. That's the robot pilot thing from the ship.
One who's making all the decisions here?
I will answer your questions, but you must first transform back to Jennifer.
Why?
You are very expensive.
Oh.
Is off you. The visual effects team has moved on to another project.
Wow.
In the world, and it produces near perfect products.
Near perfect.
Some are better than others, but I leave that debate up to the internet.
Well, Kevin,
And it's always a unique debate.
ownership, can we agree that it is a legal comedy?
If that's what you prefer to call it.
Then I would like to give my closing argument.
Oh, haha, I see.
Yeah. Creative.
Big spectacles and high stakes plot lines, but it's often said that Marvel movies all end the same way.
Wait, who's saying that?
Perhaps this is a result.
Look at the internet.
And Flash and a whole blood thing that seems super suspiciously close to Super Soldier Serum at the audience in the climax. My stakes, Kevin.
The KEVIN is processing this new data. What is the ending you propose?
I'm honestly wondering if that's Feige actually voicing that robot thing.
Swooping down from literal outer space to save the day in my story?
But Bruce is supposed to return to explain what he was doing
No,
on
we don't need
No.
Going to introduce
save it for the movie.
recalculating.
Yeah.
Enough with this angsty nighttime. Let's do this big climax in daylight.
Are we done here?
Oh, would not mind seeing Daredevil again.
I mean, right?
Daddy issues.
Jen.
Thor, daddy issues. Loki, same daddy, same issues.
Oh boy.
Star-Lord, two daddies, two issues.
Jen, please stop.
Oh.
Fixed.
That's it? We're done?
That's it? You obliterated the thrilling ending Kevin formulated.
Well, yeah, that's what Hulks do. We smash things. Bruce smashed
I mean, right?
fourth walls and bad endings. And sometimes Matt Murdock.
Okay.
Yes.
Really?
No.
Oh, whatever.
Oh, that was cruel, sir.
What's the most budget-friendly way to do this?
That was just cruel. Cruel.
I'll see you in court, babe.
Look, I didn't mean to.
Jen, I'm here to help.
Hey, Daredevil. You missed it. We're done.
I love how he just literally fell out of the sky.
Happy to see you too. Oh my god, did they hook up? Are they a thing?
Yeah, let's take it down a notch, Pug. I'm gonna go.
Sure.
Pug's just starstruck with all the heroes. It's amazing. I love it. Absolutely love it.
My actions.
Well, maybe you can write some haikus about it.
All right, Blonsky. Sarcasm?
Can't wait to read them.
I mean, at least he is holding himself accountable, like she said.
You don't make a lot of money. And Rebecca, you don't ask people how much money.
Wow.
That's fine. I don't do it for the money.
But you do make some money, right?
I mean,
I really am. I'm just visiting.
Why not stay?
Well,
Why not help with the hamburgers?
it really makes me wonder if they told him what the lines around him were going to be just to keep insisting he was visiting, because that would have been funny as hell.
So, hold on.
Cousin, Bruce.
I know I've been away on Sakaar for a while.
So he wasn't Sakaar.
First, I have someone here that I'd like you all to meet. This is my son, Scar.
Oh, they actually did it.
Family.
They actually brought in his son.
Harm or harass innocent people, I'm coming for you.
Do you mean in the courtroom or as a superhero?
Both.
One could be a superhero in a courtroom.
Hey.
Okay.
The difficult diva of law herself.
Wow. Wow. Ah, here we go.
Take your time.
Emil, my apologies for the delay.
You got sucked into another show, didn't you?
We're really in an era of peak TV.
Policy at Carpentage.
It's
Shared fridge?
kind of all one with everything.
What about Wi-Fi?
Yeah, Wi-Fi.
That makes sense. That he wouldn't want to actually go through the 10 years holding himself accountable up in the air again, because that was not holding oneself accountable. All right. How was that for an ending? They took everyone's expectations and just broke them across their knee. Just was like, nah, fam, we're good. I can't think of another show that I was more surprised at a sudden turn of direction than in this one. And it's creative. I like it. It's unique. Don't get me wrong. Overused, it would get tiring real quick. But much like the Kobayashi Maru, or Kirk's solution to it, it had the virtue of never having been tried. It's a good ending. There was a lot of very good commentary, and they directly addressed some of the biggest complaints about Marvel. Is some folks think their stuff gets repetitive, that the endings are very predictable, and to be fair, this one was lining up to be just that. Everyone just showing up out of nowhere. Until they went back and were like, no, let's rework some of this so it's a little better. And I like it. It's one of those things where they probably had that very conversation of sitting there in that writer's room and going, how the hell do we wrap this up? And because they've been using the fourth wall breaks to good effect, but not overusing them, at least in my opinion, they decided, hey, let's double the hell down. Now, what I think would be even more amazing is if the writers of this touched base with the ensuing writers of Deadpool 3 and were like, hey, this is what we're doing. Let's collab. Because you absolutely know Deadpool's going to make comments about it as soon as that movie starts, with the Deadpool 3 that was announced recently, with a hilarious video by Ryan, or two videos actually, by Reynolds and Hugh Jackman. If you haven't seen them, watch them. They're beautiful. Well done in true Ryan Reynolds style. So, very troll-like. But, yeah. It also doubled down on the fact that this is a show that is billed as a lawyer comedy. It is not supposed to take itself too seriously. And even as I was saying at the beginning of this, so many people were immediately leveraging so much against it. And to be fair, on the other side of that spectrum, a lot of people were leveraging a lot of weight to it for positive reasons, you know, strong representation of women, independent thought, of calling out toxic men, all of which it did, and beautifully, in my opinion. But this was them saying, guys, this show is supposed to be the funny. Let's relax. Not everything needs to be an action set piece. It was well done. And the fact that Marvel was able to jab at itself so much, like the NDA just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling because such legends are told about that thing. The fact that Kevin Feige is a robot, apparently, planning all of this. And I looked up the cast listing on IMDb. I could not find any listing of who voiced that robot. So I honestly think it was Feige himself. They just digitized his voice, toyed with it a little bit, but I think that might have actually been him, which would have been amazing if that's what they actually did. But because, I mean, that right there means Feige is doubling down on breaking the patterns of old, which is where a lot of the complaints about the current iterations of Marvel are coming from, is they are trying to break out of that old mold. You know, we had 24 movies and TV shows that, for the most part, followed a formula. They started to shake some of that loose with things like WandaVision, and then Falcon and the Winter Soldier came along, and Loki. The gravitas varied on a lot of those, but you noticed that they were pushing boundaries. They were pushing in different directions. WandaVision was just a very unique show. The first few episodes, starting with the black and white, the TV show references hopping through the eons of, or the eons. Why not? Eons of that. That's because at the end it said Captain America and the Winter Soldier. That's why I keep saying that. That show pushing in a good direction when it comes to speaking out against injustice. His speech at the end moved me. Like, it was impassioned. It was well written. And everything that they touched on about the balance of duty and responsibility and being downtrodden and where that lands in a man's heart. Some of that was new ground as well. Loki just went balls to the wall. That thing was all over the place, but it was also one of the most well received, mostly because it was not only a cornucopia of Easter eggs, but Hiddleston could carry anything. Like, seriously. Give the man a broken harmonica, people will watch him for 2 hours trying to figure out how to make it work. That legitimately, that's the power of Hiddleston. But even as the movies have gone on, like Doctor Strange 2, it was not what people expected because it stuck its foot into horror. People have been complaining about the Eternals because they stuck their foot in cosmic things, and they also stuck their foot in a period piece because it hops through, 5,000, 10,000 years up to modern day. Love and Thunder started addressing a lot of the cosmic things out there, but some of the people's biggest complaints about it was the fact that there's a female Thor. Back to what I was saying at the beginning of this episode. Marvel is trying to break out of the molds like everybody has been asking them to, and they're catching crap for it. Because people want comfort. They want the epic 10-year build that the first 3 phases were. But they're afraid of new things. And everyone does it. Everyone is afraid of the new, until you are faced with it. And then you may still be scared. It may not be what appeals to you. But they're trying. They're trying to take it in a new direction so it doesn't get just a remake of the last movie that just came out with different costumes. And I appreciate them for that. This entire episode, or I should say the back half of it, was them acknowledging that, trying to tell people we're doing different things, and still maintaining the funny. Now, my initial reaction to that was that I didn't like how far it was starting to go. I've been told one of my favorite shows is MASH. And I've been told that a good counterpart to MASH is Scrubs. Now, I freely admit Scrubs is a great show. I don't like it. I've given it a shot. My standard is 3 episodes of something. And the reason that I don't like it isn't the acting, isn't the writing. It was their style. The main character has these kind of fantasies just run through his head, but it envelops the entire scene and it breaks the flow of the episode to me. Like it's a sudden shifting without a clutch that breaks the flow of the show for me, and I am not a fan. I have seen some of the funniest jokes from it. I have seen some of the more touching, emotional, heartstring destroying moments from that show. I've seen them all in clips, and I appreciate the show. It was a good show, but I could not watch it because the flow was broken. And my initial reaction to this was, what the hell? It wasn't just a shifting without a clutch. My entire clutch fell out of the car. When that menu came up, I'm not even going to lie, I thought something went wrong. I thought that the episode ended early. They decided no credits and they were like, you know what, screw it, we're just going to end it here. And then when she busted out that panel, I was like, okay, let's see where they're taking this, because it was such an interruption, but a unique one. Because it wasn't like in Scrubs, taking a fantasy moment and then back to the main story. Trying to recapture that flow for the rest of the episode. This was interruption for the sake of interruption, and a new flow was created from that. And that's what I appreciate about it. I gave it a few minutes to see where it was playing out, what direction they were taking it, and I liked it. As soon as she began that conversation with Kevin, I was there. I was in it. A lot of people are not going to like this ending. A lot of people are going to be disappointed with this. I understand that. It may take some people time. Their initial knee-jerk reaction is going to be dislike and hatred. But as it works on them, as they think about the words that were actually said, I think it will begin to sink in that it was a brilliant move on their part. I appreciate the writers for doing it. Even though it hit one of my show triggers, that sudden interruption of the flow, it was still well done, and it didn't try and recapture a flow on the other end of it. It created a new flow. They spun that momentum of the conversation into the rest of the show and still tried to keep the funny. Like her comment about wanting Daredevil, and then Daredevil just literally drops from the sky. There was nothing around. There was no swinging on buildings. It was all short trees and a building over there, and the dude just to get him back in it. And I absolutely loved that. The fact that even Titanium made another appearance just there with a phone like the influencer would be. So I really liked how this ended. In total, looking at the show as a whole, start to finish for this first season, I liked it. Was it the best thing Marvel has kicked out? No. My personal opinion, that's Moon Knight. I may catch some flack for that. But this was still a worthy effort outside of the normal mold, which is something that they've been, as I pointed out, trying to do with other projects. This was, I think, that nexus point. From here, it would not surprise me if the rest of the projects that are coming are outside of the mold. This may have been after Doctor Strange and Love and Thunder, both kind of trying to push in slightly different ways. This may have been their final warning to the fans. We are going to be doing things differently. I am very much looking forward to how things are going. Case in point, Werewolf by Night just came out, the 1-hour Halloween special, meant to establish some of the supernatural side of the MCU. It was phenomenal. You may be seeing that one in the next couple of weeks on the channel here. It was, again, pushing in a new direction. The next thing that we have coming is the Black Panther movie, which, just given everything surrounding that one, I think is going to push in its own direction, and no one's going to say boo about it. Just because of everything going on with Chadwick and the feelings that everybody had about not only the first movie, but Mr. Boseman's passing. This movie is just going to be able to shape whatever it wants to. But after that, we've got the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special. And then after that, I believe, is What If? So this leads me to truly believe Marvel is going to be going their own way. 2023, I'm calling it now, is going to be Marvel's year of different. And I am here for it. So folks, I appreciate it if you made it this far in the video. My rants can get a little much sometimes. Let me know, A, what you think Marvel's best thing since the end of Phase 3 has been. Let me know how you felt about this episode, whether I'm full of shit or not. And let me know what more you want to see. You want to see me turn this particular gaze to a movie or another show? Let me know. I will. I am sad to see this show go, but folks, we got a lot more coming. It's going to be amazing. And I hope you stick with us for it. Remember to like, subscribe if you like what you see. And folks, remember, you are a power. You have that power inside you. Everyone does. I am a power. And I am trying to use my power to remind others about theirs. Together we are one power. A power strong enough to change the world. So we just need to get out there and do it. Thank you, folks, and I'll catch you in the next one.